How you feeling? You got John Riggs here, celebrating 10 years of the PSP Go. One of... Is it my favorite? I can't put it in that category, but definitely one of my favorite portables of all time. I just love how slick this thing is, how convenient this thing is. It has its flaws, being it's digital only, so there was no physical copies. I didn't ask you to do anything. What are you doing? Turn it on me. And I thought it was a really neat system. Oh my goodness. Now I was looking at my Facebook memories that told me that I purchased this 10 years ago on October 4th. Now it was a Sunday, so I don't think this was a launch title, but I do think it was within the first week of its release. Was it released on Tuesday? I don't know. It could have been released, I want to say it was released on Friday, and then I picked it up that Sunday. I had a PSP at the time, but I was playing so many games digitally anyway, especially during this time when I had 3 kids at the time that were 3 years and younger when this system came out. So the idea of just getting the games digitally over the Wi-Fi, I don't have to go to the store or anything like that, I was a huge fan of that. Now, today's standards, it's a little half and half, but at the time I was like, this is going to be perfect for me. And I used this as my travel system of choice up until the Switch came out. If you're wondering, this is not hacked yet. It could be, maybe it should be at this time, but I still have it loaded with the games that I purchased myself. I also liked the fact that there are some systems that you could purchase on this or the PlayStation 3 that were the same game. It's like, oh, you already bought it? Well, you can put it on this or put it on the PlayStation 3. So I had some games that I put on there, some games from here that I put on there. Made it really handy. And you can also listen to MP3s and you can watch movies. I had a couple of movies on here, but I've since deleted just about everything. But I kept the games all on here. I also liked the fact that when you closed it and it was still turned on, it would show you the clock. But then when you prop it back up, it would go back to the cross media bar. Super fun. I want to show you some of the cool features about this, and I'll also show you what games I still have on here that I still play today. So your PSP Go, oddly enough, isn't inscribed as PSP Go. It's just a PSP. It just happens to be the Go system. This and the PlayStation Portable, same games, same everything else. You got a spot there. That's your charger. Got a headphone jack, of course. And up top, that's your style of sound. They don't really do this in video games anymore, but it's like, rock, classical. It just changes kind of, it's like your EQ in a way. Not perfect, but it gives you a couple of options. I usually just leave it on default though. And then that's your screen dimmer, however bright you want the system. Volume's up and down. You got your L and R triggers on the side here. We're gonna get really close. This is for your M2 card, which I do not have in there. I don't have any cards in there. And then this is your wireless switch, so you can go from like Wi-Fi to not. And then on the side you have your power, and that's really about it. And the charger here is proprietary to Sony. It's one of these guys here. So I'm actually going to pop this in, just because I don't the charge on this one I don't have very high on. And then that orange light indicator means it's charging, but not completely charged. If it turns red, it means you're almost out of battery. I'm going to turn it on just like that, because it recognizes that it's in a closed, it's clock mode. But then when you slide this open, and remember, that was huge for this time. There were cell phones at the time. If you don't remember, there were cell phones at the time that would hide the keyboard and stuff underneath it like that, so you'd have a proper keyboard and all that. However, we're going to see what kind of games we still have on here. But I'll show you a couple of other features here. You got the system update. This is to tether from your PSP Go to your PlayStation 3 or to your computer, I suppose. You could do that too, especially if you want to dump off some MP3s or some movies. Video settings, photo settings. These are just your basic run-of-the-mill options here. Digital comics. That was one thing I never took advantage of. I don't have any digital comics on here. How much space you have in system storage, as well as your camera. Let's see. Connect a camera that is compatible with the PSP system. Again, there's no adapter for this. This is, it's the same cross media bar. It just happens to be on a PSP Go. It's like the same firmware or whatever. Same, there's a word I'm looking for. iOS maybe? I don't know. Not iOS. Operating systems. System storage, this is for your videos. I don't have any videos on here, nor do I have any songs or pictures or anything. You got your browser if you want to search the internet. Even Skype, again, no camera on this one. And then this is for your network. This would access the store if the store was still open. You can kind of look at it for a second, and it says, nah, we can't get in here. And I won't bore you with what that looks like. But then we have the games. And I loved the fact that it would show you kind of a little quick demo. Now, sometimes this is a Resident Evil 3 for the PlayStation 3. Now, this is like the, remade from the PlayStation 1. It's fine, but it's just like, hey, here's the PlayStation 1 game that you can play on your PS3 or your PSP. So, grabbed that one. I got Killzone, and if it's a game for like PSP or or even PlayStation 3, it shows you a little the little quick demo of like, oh, here's what it looks like. The gameplay looks like that. Sometimes that moves in the background. Like I'll show you this one here with Ys 1 and 2, the Chronicles, where it has like the static picture, and then there's like the little the in-game demo. There is sound. I turned the sound down just because I'm always nervous about YouTube and stuff. Has the Rock and Ys soundtrack. I love the music to Ys. I'll turn that back down, just in case. You never know. We got Ys. This is basically Ys 3, but redone, remade. Great version of the game here. Never beat it, but still a great version. They came out with these. This is Spot the Difference. This is the Minis system, MINIS. What the Minis were cost-efficient games for your PSP or your PS3. They were games that were usually like 99 cents, maybe $4.99. I don't think there's any game like over $10. In fact, there might not be any game over $5. But this was one of those, like it shows you two pictures at the same time. I can show you a quick little, well, you know what? Let's hop in there. Let's hop in there and show you what's going down. And I'll show you my trick too on how you can spot the difference every single time. Can't really show you in this video, but I'll explain what I'm doing. And you have so much time to find all the differences. So this thing here is not on this side, so that's one of them. You just keep on looking around for maybe other things. Maybe you already see one that I don't quite see. Like here's this little red thing that's not on the other side. The trick is if you cross your eyes just enough so the pictures meld together, whatever's missing will flicker in your eyesight. Hard to describe, but just take something like this and then cross your eyes just enough that it would do that. So we're gonna back out here with the home button right here. That's what that is. Pause the game, quit the game. And I have a few more games on here, and this is the reason why this was my portable system of choice. Not for Resident Evil, not for Killzone, not for the Ys games, which are fine, but these compilation games that I have down here too, like the Midway Arcade Treasures. It has 10 to 20 games on there. Great games from Midway. I just love, especially for something like this, I don't want to be playing like an RPG, although I do have a couple of RPGs on here. I wanted to just, play something really quick. Arcade style was perfect. Buzz was a quiz game. I wish they would bring back the Buzz series for the PlayStation 4. I'm surprised they haven't yet. Gotta go with the Patapon. Nice rhythm game. Another one of my favorite PS1 games, Jumping Flash. Had to grab that. Got Bomberman Land. I'm a huge fan of the Bomberman Land series. It's quick little mini games, and you get the little tickets that you can go through different gates and carry on with your quest. This was an indie title called Half Minute Hero. This was one of the more expensive games I purchased for this system. It was like $29.99 or something like that. But every level, every round, takes 30 seconds. And sometimes there are things that you can do to stall time or even get a little bit of your time back. But every time you're in action, the 30-second countdown clock just keeps ticking. And pretty fun. We got these here. This is the Capcom Classics Collection Remixed. So you have Final Fight, Strider, 1942. You got Black Tiger, Captain Commando. A lot of great games on this one. This was one I had a lot of fun with. And this is also available for other platforms too. Gotta get my Genesis collection. Gotta have Sword of Vermilion, Sonic 1 and 2. Got the, Echo, Altered Beast. Some great games from Sega. And there's also some unlockables on here too, which I thought was really cool. Like if you do certain things, you'll be, oh, hey, now you can play the arcade version of Congo Bongo unlocked, or the arcade version of Altered Beast. It comes with Altered Beast for the Genesis, but now you have Altered Beast for the arcade. Got the SNK Arcade Classics here, or the arcade, the arcade classics. It's cool. And then finally down here, this is the Capcom Classics Collection. This is your Street Fighters, your Ghosts and Goblins, Ghouls and Ghosts, and more. And one thing I was super, super proud of, and I'm going to fire this up here right quick. I've never been so much of a trophy collector. You've unlocked this achievement on Xbox. It's cool when it happens, but I don't go out of my way for it. Especially when it comes to trophies on PlayStation 4 or, even PlayStation 3. I knew people that were just they would grind a game just to get all those trophies. If I happen to unlock one, cool. If there's one within proximity, if there's one that's I can do that, sure. Then yeah, I'll grab it. But I don't go out of my way for it. One thing I did go out of my way for, and I'm super proud of this, and I want to show you this to you, is there's a, the more you play games, the more like coins you build in a way, like for points for the slot machine, and then you can unlock like background art or museum type stuff. You play the game with a different soundtrack. I, through playing this game so many times, unlocked literally everything, which took so long to do because it just takes. Let's go for it. Do I have any money left? Well, oh, here we go. Max bet. No. Oh, there we go. So I don't have much money left, but you do that, play it. Stop. Nothing. But I got it, so I got all the everything, and then with every point bracket. So it was a lot of gameplay and a lot of that to make that happen. But I'm so happy about that. That's one of my greatest video game achievements of all things. is unlocking all of those with the slots on the Capcom collection here. Like I said, awesome system. I'm a huge fan of it. And celebrating 10 years of the PSP Go. 10 years, man. Imagine 10 years in that time span, from 2009 to 2019. That is a huge span. 10 years. That's a whole decade. But I think back to, man, imagine, the technology we had in 1982 to the technology we had in 1992. It seems like eons away, but 10 years. And you know what? Something like this, it's still good today. It still holds up today. Man, I'm a huge fan, and I'll always love my PSP Go. And celebrating 10 years, big time shout out to Sony for doing something like this. I kind of wish the store was still open. I would still be purchasing games for this today. However, you can get them on the PS3 and then transfer them from PS3 to this. I know I'm one of the few who's a huge fan of this system, but I gotta show some love for it all the same. Thanks for watching.